back with another video, and we are playing some Everybody Want to Switch. So for whatever reason, it's not showing my controller, but it's probably because it wants the Joy-Cons to control it. Which is just really dumb. But we don't need to see me on here anyway, so we'll remove that.
First of all, scan the QR code on the screen to access the room you'll be using for this session.
Alright, you gotta scan the QR code. Oh, I'm supposed to do that.
If you've accessed the room already, enter a name and a photo, then tap Register to join.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, get your controller bag.
I've never played this game.
Is it charged?
Are you gonna play?
I'm sure it's charged enough.
Jane? So you want to switch? Oop. Wait.
Whoops.
What am I supposed to... Okay. Is an icon displayed in the lower right part of the screen? Card. Am I supposed to say yes or no? There's no icon.
You should say no.
Oh.
They're trying to see if you're some kind of bot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a charger.
Oh, cool. Krish.
I have a power bank first on the cat tree. Put that for like $5.50.
But I can do everything in there.
This is my
I'm like, bro, he ain't have to go all the way like that. Like,
strap is the
I
actual
was expecting the
thing.
8-bit, like, you know, platform again. I was expecting that. Yeah, he went.
Use this one.
Oh, do you have a lightning cable?
I got it.
Definitely.
It's in the car.
Oh, he's granted, I waited till he should have opened it. I ain't gonna.
I have one that has
That was the Easter egg I needed.
So we're all picking characters and everything here.
I keep breaking boards and stuff.
So that's why it's kind of
Oh, yeah.
on this QR code screen. But hey, if you want to join in with us, you can.
And they have removed it. Carney, I need a charger for my phone.
If I had just got the NES version, I would never would have known the full version. Okay. I don't have one of
If you've accessed the room already, how about lending a hand to anyone who might be having trouble? Start the game once everyone has joined the room.
I don't think I'll be able to play this game alone.
I'm sorry.
Yes. 39% is on that. Have to set a photo.
If I break my phone, I'm suing Nintendo.
I mean, you can do what I did.
Oh. Hee hee.
Start the game once everyone has joined the room.
I haven't joined the room. Find a picture.
Start the game once everyone has joined the room.
I haven't joined the room. Shut up. We're gonna have to wait.
Start the game once everyone has
That's a
joined the
Michael
room.
Jackson.
That's
I'm guessing you took a picture on your phone, huh?
If you haven't joined yet, you'll still
Wow.
be able to later on.
Still doesn't beat your
To
pictures,
bring up
baby.
the QR code again, just press plus or minus
he's
on
trying
the
to be like
Joy-Con
me,
to
huh?
display the in-game menu.
Bryce got his like
You can
bell
also
partner
check it on
picture
the
up
smartphone.
there.
I'm a professional 80s baby.
That's my favorite picture.
But my picture is the most adorable.
I know it's gonna need a picture. So
I'll
hard.
start the game once everyone has joined the room. Pick a player to be in charge of each Joy-Con. Then have one of them press the highlighted button to continue.
Good picture.
One way.
If you haven't joined yet, you'll still be able to later on. To bring up the QR code again, just press plus or minus on a Joy-Con.
Alright, so somebody on this side needs to
You can
be
also check it on the smart device.
the left, and we'll let that be Bryce.
Alright.
And then somebody on that side is going to be the right.
Sorry, you can be
Start the game once everyone has joined the room. Pick a player to be in charge of each Joy-Con.
Do we have
Then
it,
one of
right?
them press the
Mhm.
highlighted button to continue.
So that
Look
is-
at the game screen on my phone or
You
this?
can't tell me what to do.
I think that's you as well.
Oh, I can do it too?
Start the game once.
What you looking for?
I got her. Yeah, I'm about to leave.
My baby's leaving. He's gotta go play with some chickens.
Chicken head.
Okay, no.
Oh,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look at the horse now.
He's very scared.
Oh,
all right.
Jack
So you haven't played this one? Wow.
First things first, use the Joy-Con to choose the party you want to play.
So we'll rock out with a 20-minute one
yeah.
real quick just so y'all can see. And then,
I think last time we did the 40.
do y'all want to do 40-minute or 20-minute one?
20. Let them on 20 in case they don't like it.
Okay.
First, I need to know if my phone's gonna make it 40.
How much battery life we got on that?
39.
49%? Yeah. It'll make it 20-minute game for sure.
We owe.
So no not okay for the footsteps.
What happened?
They have different types of games depending on how loud you want to
While
be.
you're playing,
We can tell how loud you are.
Mhm.
Are we doing changing places?
Alright, y'all.
Just put not okay,
All right.
and then just hit start.
all right, everyone. Time to
Okay.
pick teams.
All right.
All right.
See you later.
All right, bro.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Look like everybody gonna say bye. You know? All right. Drive safe. Have fun with the chickadees.
I got no free hands. So.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah. All right.
And if any of those chickens don't make it, if any of those chickens don't make them, bring it over to Bryce's.
Put him on his grill.
There you go.
I guess somebody wants to lock the door.
Alright.
Is that you with a scary mask on, or is that somebody else?
No, that's Edgar.
Who is Edgar?
Oh, he comes out, in
Scary mask.
September, October. He sometimes sits outside my doors.
He has an animatronic.
And he has a cousin named Bob. that also-
Because it looks like you with a mask on, with jeans and a hoodie
Sitting
on.
on the toilet? Nah, that's what he wears.
Okay.
That's Edgar.
I'm more afraid of this cracked out Mr. Head right here.
Just waiting on you.
Oh, that was? Okay.
Okay.
Oh no, I lost connection.
Oh, you gotta.
Let's hope I can get back in.
I'm on Team Love.
Yay!
I didn't even see what team I'm on.
I didn't
I'm on the right team.
I'm on the right team.
Yeah, it's the three of us. You have the left controller, and they put you on the right.
I'm on the left. I gotta move over here.
No, this is us. You're with
you all have
us.
to
Sit
You gotta
down.
just change the. You got the right controller.
This is all left.
You guys just gotta change the controller, right?
No.
No.
All right. Once you're all set up, tap your smart devices and we'll get started.
Oh, look at the game screen.
Sorry.
Oh no. Oh, I thought that was the pillow.
Oh. Did you want to put it back there? There's other ones over here.
No, that was actually like what
Are you ready, folks?
Yep. What am I
Your
doing?
skills are about to be put to the test.
Okay.
You'll get a point each time you win a game. The first team to score 3 points wins. Now let the games begin. First game
Bingo.
is
Please be bingo.
this one.
Kitchen.
I don't remember this one.
I don't think we played this one.
Are you ready to play?
Everybody? 1, 2, switch!
Okay.
Kitchen timer.
Okay.
He says it so much it's addictive.
Am I supposed to press the little button? Or no? Okay.
You'll need to enable your smart device's sensor to play this game.
Huh? Oh, okay. Asking for a lot. Like,
Welcome to the Cooking Academy. Make sure your aprons are securely tied. Use your smart device to join.
Couldn't get Gordon Ramsay on here?
no. He said he cost more.
Need that with that
This
Cajun
time
ass
you'll be
back
trying
in
your hand at
CBS.
making
Yeah.
a perfect sizzling
Yeah.
sirloin steak.
I guarantee.
I guarantee.
First, we're going to fry this nice bit of steak over a high heat.
Okay.
Looks like the Mario
Once
Party
the
one.
steak is done, flip it over.
Oh, you gotta flip your phone
You're
on.
flown over.
Get set. Go.
I mean, I like mine well done, so.
Wait.
You gotta look at your.
I probably won't.
Looks like you're all finished. Yes, that's seared beautifully.
What happened?
Let's take a look at how you
Was I supposed to flip it back over?
No, then. Let's see.
Jamie ran out of time.
I flipped mine over though.
Whoa, looks like the left team brought a natural chef with them.
Oh. Well, Kari, you did well.
Good job, Kari. I don't know why mine didn't, because I like flipped mine over and like had it like this.
Did you run out of time?
Take care of the seasonal
No, I
vegetable
flipped mine and I
side
was just like,
dish. Every chef
It didn't
understands
register.
the importance of veggies.
I had to flip it twice.
Okay,
Alright, this is all you.
to boiling point. Be
What's-
sure to
what's
bring
me?
it
The veggies.
oh, okay, so we gotta lift it up
All ready?
You said lift it up?
at the right time.
Get set.
Yeah.
Go. Looks like you're all finished. Ooh,
Oh,
looking
it registered
good.
at that time. I didn't get the okay last time.
I didn't get the okay.
All right, here's the lowdown
I lost
of your performance.
count.
My screen timed out.
No, it's supposed to.
Oh,
Oh, no, not your phone. I thought you meant the
yeah.
question marks.
No, it's kind of.
Oh, okay. 39.
I'm starting to wonder if you're just pretending to be stupid.
39, 39.
That was my fault.
Yeah! Oh, we still lost, though.
Dang.
This is the crucial point. The steak needs to be in the middle of the pan for the best result. Take the lid off when it's ready.
Okay.
Are you all ready?
No.
Get
Oh,
set.
shit. My phone keep closing.
Go! The last stage is the clincher. You'll get double points for this one.
It's not registering.
All right, we're done here. Something sure smells good. Here's a little sweetener. The last round is worth double the points.
Probably third, so.
So wait, so did we find it?
I can't get third.
Yes!
Yeah!
Gotcha.
We need a differential. Woo! Yeah, baby.
Why? Oh, because they're a
Looks
smaller
like
group.
you've been busy making something delicious.
Dang.
The right team is certainly well
Boo.
Bon appetit.
We got that one.
What? Everyone.
Oh, don't matter.
You work. I was like,
That one that
I just can't do it. I was like, I'm just gonna keep doing it.
The results of the first game are in.
Michael Jackson looks angry.
Yeah. Crap, don't he?
Next game.
Bryce and the Cats were successful.
From now on, we'll have the losing team stop the roulette. That means you,
Bingo.
left team. Feeling lucky? Press the
Oh.
button on your smart device to stop the
Yes,
roulette.
stop the roulette.
Anyone on your team can press the button. The next game will be this one.
Oh.
What's that?
Aw. Did him.
Are you ready to play?
Everybody. 1, 2, switch.
UFOs.
Alright, it's armed up. Okay.
This is it. First contact. Get ready, everyone.
Oh, we gotta stand up?
You don't have to,
Use your
but
smart device to join.
I'm all broken on my left side today. I got bursitis here inside.
Oh,
Here
that's
today, so it's been kinda.
Signal
With the
in
signal.
time with the rhythm.
Push your thumbs
All
on the
my
button.
movements.
Oh. Am I supposed to hold the buttons at the same time?
yes.
Hold your smart device firmly and press with your thumbs.
How's that working?
Mine ain't working either.
You gotta like press them in like their nipples or something.
I am!
Me too.
Channel positive energy.
My arm's already tired.
Oh, it's not working. It's not working.
Hold your smart device firmly and press with your thumbs.
I am!
Bryce, yours aren't even lit up. Oh, now they are.
The nipples are lit!
There, it finally showed you.
Signaling like that. Let's go.
And 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and
Not
9,
being registered.
10,
They call you at a certain time. They haven't called you yet.
2, 3. Woo! My arms aren't for this.
Mine either.
They come in storm day.
Aliens are coming. Bryce, help. There we go.
2.
What the hell is happening? Get away.
Oh no, why are you on that
We gotta switch, Bryce. Switch your dance.
Oh,
Do it side to side.
I'll do that.
Arms.
Oh, my arms came up.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
Okay, next time, Jim. Get the arms ready.
Oh, it was the first.
He's like, it's not registering. It's
Oh,
not
I didn't think it was working.
Dang, both of us. Not 0%.
Me.
Not even 1.
I thought I was keeping the beat.
I thought I was. It says 0, not even 1. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Here
my
are
arms
the
going.
results.
Oh, that's not hurting in the morning.
The right team only needs one
Yeah,
more.
we did Pilates at my conference, and that's why I got
Oh
bursitis.
my god.
Yesterday I was just like, I kept moving, and I'm like, I can't do this.
Take a
It's like,
chance.
oh, I did this
Like I can only
anymore.
do like move it all
Our
over.
card drawer will be this player.
Watch it. Oh, it's Ann.
What happened?
As the representative for your team.
Okay.
Confirm your Joy-Con, then press a button.
Well, how that
Press it.
Isn't that supposed to work out?
No.
Confirm your Joy-Con,
Yeah,
then
because you have
press
to
a
have the
button.
first one. So you
Oh.
have to have
Yeah,
that one.
because it's got number 1 over here or something.
Oh, okay.
The chance cards you can rock on are these ones
Pin
here.
check, either one.
Okay.
Pick a card, any card, then use your Joy-Con to select it. The opposing team can
Doesn't
see
matter.
what's on the
Just
card.
pick whichever
If you're
one.
good at reading expressions,
We have no idea.
you might be able
There's
to
no
figure out
strategy.
which card is which.
Yeah.
The card the left team picked is this one.
At least it wasn't that
Good
hard.
luck. It's
I don't know. Is that bad?
No, it's not the bad
There goes your
card.
chance.
It's just not a good card.
Let's move
Oh,
on
okay.
to the next game.
It's fine.
The left team will stop the roulette. Press the button on your smart device when you want to stop the roulette. The next game will be
Yeah.
this one.
Jamie loves the kitchen.
I really don't.
The timer.
Oh,
Ready to play?
Everybody. One,
One,
two,
two.
switch.
I want to get bingo.
I wanted bingo as well.
Timer 2.
I would have even done the art one, which I don't care for either.
Yeah.
But
Turn my screen time off.
Welcome
Yeah, I had to
the
do that. So
Cooking
you had to.
Academy. Make sure
It's
your
like, yes,
aprons
turn
are
off power
securely
saver.
tied. Use your smart device to join. It's as easy as boiling an egg. This time you will be making one of my faves, pesto
Ooh,
pasta.
I love pesto.
So we're stirring.
First, we'll make the all-important pesto.
Liver.
Flip the switch at the right moment. Are you all ready?
Yep. That's what it
Fingers on the switches,
Oh.
and flip.
Too early.
Everybody else is
All right,
making
we're done
sounds,
here.
so
What
I'm
a
like,
filthy
that's
parade.
That's
I
inside.
love pesto.
Yeah, mine. I didn't even do anything.
Let's take a
I
look at
tapped the
how you
screws and went
did.
to go to sleep, and I think that made it register. Yeah.
oh man, Bryce.
Third.
Yeah.
Looks like there's someone on the right team who really knows their way around the kitchen.
No, they don't.
Mhm.
Let me turn my screen time off.
Woo! Take it.
Okay.
I'm feeling inspired to try something new. How
Okay.
about a topping of fresh asparagus?
Yay!
At the
I
right
just got a
moment,
bunch
it'll
of
start to
asparagus
boil,
today.
so you'll want to drain it then. Are you all
This has to be
ready?
grilled only
Yes,
for me.
We're ready.
Get set.
I like to boil them for 7 minutes exactly.
Reconnect your game.
Looks like you're all finished. Ooh, looking
What's my
good.
favorite vegetable?
Asparagus? I don't know how to taste. Somebody has to cook it.
All right, here's the lowdown on your performance.
Lowdown for the showdown.
Wow, really? Dang, okay.
Dang, I did bad on that. Bryce did pretty good.
Looks like there's
I
someone on the
was
Bryce?
in the game.
Bryce held it down,
Boo.
and we get the alpha bonus.
What?
We get the alpha bonus.
Judging by the steam that
Since he's not here.
coming along
I
nice.
should
Since
be
what?
getting the
Since
alpha
he's not here.
bone. Or the alpha bone.
Drain it when it's
Ah.
done.
Ah.
Are you all ready?
What are we doing?
Get set. Go. The last stage is the clincher. You'll get double points for this one. Looks like you're all finished. The pasta is nicely al dente. Good job.
You got a timer on your phone over there?
No, just count in my head.
Here's a little sweetener. The last round is worth double the points.
I wish I'd have thought of that. But, see, I definitely didn't know. I was early.
Looks like there's someone on the left team who really knows their way around a
That's
kitchen.
right.
Damn.
Finally, we get a win.
Looks like you've been busy making
First
something
should have been
delicious.
ours too. Extra points.
Nice kitchen skills, left team. Well done. Here are the results. Left team just needs 1 point to pull even. Let's move on to the next game.
Oh, wait, what?
Stop.
No.
Press the button on your smart device to
No,
stop the
it's too
roulette.
late in the evening for
The next
this.
game will be
Yay!
Like that one. It's just fun.
So who got that one?
I picked it.
Bryce, you got the remote. You got to switch remotes back, don't you?
Oh.
1, 2.
Switch!
Still till you.
Everybody press go.
Let the bingo begin. Use your smart device to join. First, tap the center of the card to set the numbers.
Damn. I did it too early.
In this game, you use the Joy-Con to stop the roulette. These are the people who will stop the roulette this time around.
Bryce.
Press the button
Yeah.
to confirm.
Kari has it.
Oh, this one.
Cardi just holding this.
Press up. First up is the right team.
I'm looking at this girl.
Okay, let's go. Press a button to stop the roulette. The first number is
Maybe you do need to switch.
18.
Whoops.
If the number that came up is on your card, tap on it.
No.
Don't say
It's
it.
the left team. Press a button to stop the roulette. The next number is
All you gotta do
Come
is just
on.
press the button.
6. Here's a quick explanation of the rules.
Really? We know what
The
bingo
first
is.
team to get the required number of bingos is the winner. The required number depends on how many people are playing. Here's how many bingos you'll need this time. Let's move on. Next up is the right team. Press a button to stop the roulette.
Press the button.
The
Press
next
the button.
number, 43. Next up is the left team.
Come on, girl.
Press a button to stop the roulette. The next number is 21.
Everybody seems to make
Next up
noises.
is the right team. It's time for a roulette jackpot. During a jackpot, the roulette will land on 3 numbers instead of 1.
Right, you feeling lucky?
20, 22, 23.
22. It was coaching biased.
Next up is the left team. Press
Alright.
a button to stop the roulette. 48. Next up is the right team. Press a button to stop the roulette. 28.
Okay.
Only 1 number away from a bingo.
I think somebody's
Next up
phone
is
number
the
away.
left team. Press a button to 37. 1 away again.
They're killing it.
Next up is the right team. Press a button to stop the roulette. The next number, 27. Somebody's 1 number away from a bingo. More and more people are only one away from a bingo. If both teams get a bingo at the
The
same
millions.
time, the one who marks their card
And millions.
Next up is the left team. Roulette jackpot.
Okay, well that.
All right.
34, 35, 36. Things are heating up for the left team. The next number could end it all. Next up is the right team. Press a button to stop the roulette. The next 16. Wow, everyone on the left team is only one number
Oh my
away.
god. Bryce, man, you gotta start picking better numbers.
Is the left team. Press a button to stop the roulette. The next number is 44. Someone on the left team could get a bingo in 2 different ways.
Oh,
Next up is the right team. Press a button to stop the roulette. The next number is 5.
yay.
One away again. Next up is the left team. Press a button to stop the roulette. 39.
Damn.
The left team.
Good job.
Next up is the right team. Roulette jackpot.
Yeah, we like jackpot. Let's go.
25, 26, 29.
Mm.
All right.
I needed you to play 29 and 46.
I had 3 that were one away.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Nice. Where's that at?
He had a big wah.
You had a big wall.
Like the boat.
Yes, like a boat.
Like a boat.
Tiger.
Jesus Christ.
So we gotta do this, right?
I'm throwing balls at your faces.
The scores are tied, so the loser of the last game will decide. That's the right team. Press the button on your smart device when you want to stop the roulette. Anyone on your team can press the button. The next game will be
Not UFOs.
No.
Quiz
Or
show.
spots.
Quiz show.
So what
Color shoot.
about push?
Or color shoot.
Yeah!
Yeah.
There we go.
Fine.
Anything but physical.
Are you ready to
Too late
play?
for that right now.
Everybody. 1, 2, switch!
Everybody.
1, 2, switch.
I love it when you.
1, 2, switch.
Remix.
You better keep a
Who's
clear
with
head.
sign up
It's
on
time
this
to put
game?
your general
The Sierra.
Will
If
Smith.
you're playing,
Oh, see.
use your smart device to join.
See? Arrow!
Oh, you're talking about
Jazzy Faye.
Try pressing the buttons for true and false answers.
Oh, okay. What am I?
You just cried.
So it's true and false. Okay.
In this game, you have to answer true or false for every question as quick as you can. There's
True.
a score bonus if you answer within 2 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Okay, everyone, give it all the gusto you can muster.
Gotcha.
Fingers at the ready for the first question. Which is saltier, salt or sugar?
It's not true or
Salt.
false.
I'm like, that's not a true or false question.
Right.
Not a
Okay.
true false question. They lied to us.
They did.
They lied to.
Alpha, yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna divorce him.
Alpha's supposed to be
Question 2.
Right?
Socks are something you wear on your feet.
I like how somebody hit it before she said the whole thing. But that gives you more points.
within 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I took
Yeah, all right, Kari. That's what I'm talking about,
Yeah, I knew I
team.
was right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Damn, Bryce.
I was like,
Alpha, help us. Yes, Alpha.
yeah, Alpha. Woo!
Damn it, Alpha.
Question 3. This is it.
Okay.
The final question.
Why do I feel
The final countdown.
Points, so it could still be anyone's game, folks.
Alright, come on. Give me the
What
one.
do eyes do?
What?
Hear sounds.
I was already pressing it.
What do
I was like, the next one has to be an X.
Yeah, just kind of like.
I was already pressing. I was like, X.
They gave you 186 points for that?
I was already pressing X before they even finished the question.
Yeah.
Wow.
Came back.
I was like, it's gonna be X. It's gonna be X. It's gonna be X.
That's some robbery, man. That's some robbery.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I got it right.
That could have backfired
That
tremendously.
could
It could have. It should have.
Should have.
Did not.
They should punish you for not having the whole question
Yeah.
out there.
You just don't be mad because you know you want to do it too.
I think that's for the feud.
The final game is over. Here are the results.
They had more people.
Y'all were getting butt. First of all, the first one you shouldn't have won.
Y'all don't have more people.
Y'all won because of the alpha bonus.
This time, our winner is the
Alpha is pretty wonderful. He just couldn't get you through this. Not with the thruple.
Yes, the thruple.
Okay.
We are here.
Looks like the winner's been decided. So now, it's time to vote for your most valuable player. Use your smart device to vote for the
186
person who
points.
worked the hardest. Voting
I guess we're a
starts
polycule now.
A quadrille?
Remember, the person who worked hardest isn't necessarily the person who did the best. You could also decide to vote for someone else, like the person who looked like they were having the most fun.
Who was having the most fun?
The person who got the most laughs might be a good choice too. Well, does anyone spring to mind?
Is somebody missing?
No, everybody's there. Kari's there.
It's almost time to close the voting.
Leonard's not there.
That's what I said. There's 6 on the screen. Okay.
And now for the results.
Be just like the Mario people.
The most valuable player is this person.
Yeah! Thank you, my team. Thank you.
Oh, she cheated.
My phone's on silent, so
Yeah. You did that. You did that.
That'd be cool
Was
if
that
the
fun
new
or
rock
what?
band's gonna have that feature.
How are you all feeling?
All the clapping
Do you
and
wanna
stuff.
take a
That would
break?
be fun.
yeah,
Still
they
up
should
for
have.
more. Glad
That
to
was
hear it.
fun.
It was.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Except for the UFO part, that was not.
Yeah.
No.
Arm swing.
I cannot do
Wait till you
any more.
hit our-
But there was a bunch of other games that they didn't show on here. There's like the antique store one, the ninja one, and I'm sure there's other games that we
Oh,
didn't
the
play
ninja one's fun.
because we don't do the
Throwing
movement.
stars at people.
That seems like physical work.
But there's ones where they make you change places, like
Yeah.
musical
Oh.
chairs.
Yeah, that's it's so much fun.
I just need a little charge.
Almost there.
30, I'm down in 31.
There should be a charger, like right here.
You don't have a lightning charger.
Oh, that's
my
right.
charger is in the car.
There's the where's the one you set the?
Is it like a magnet kind
Yeah.
of thing?
Yeah.
Oh, it's way over there. But how am I going to play if it's way over there?
You just gotta
I
sit
need
where,
to be able to win for my team.
you need to sit where she's at, I guess.
Y'all are trying to sabotage me.
Listen, all of y'all, it's sabotage.
Is it working?
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe the cord got disconnected. I don't know
No,
if
it's
plugged in.
lighted.
It says charging.
Does it? Okay, now
Yeah.
it does.
Can we do phones and controller? Or we have to do all phones?
I don't know.
But you can use the controller potentially.
Oh,
Maybe.
are you looking at all your pink
I think it's like. But you have the controller. You're the one in the control of it. You and
Okay.
I don't even do that.
oh, they have pro rules on there. Go back.
They have pro rules?
Yeah, go back. Go over. For experienced player. Oh,
It might be
okay.
best to stick to normal if there are any first-time players.
Oh, yeah.
If you've got the hang of the game,
You just go back.
Nope, because if the alien one comes up with some pro rules. Nope.
You just go back. I don't know if you can change it to controllers and you have to press B again.
No, Carter's got to go get my long one. And I think I can use your power bank.
Enjoy.
Yeah, this is
Oh, there's also a plug
You
over
play
there,
with smart
like
devices.
right next to the catcher.
Enjoy.
The wall down. There's a socket down there.
Oh,
There's
there's
a
a socket.
smart device mode. You play with smart devices and 2 Joy-Con controllers. With each
And there's a
person
block.
using their own smart device, you can
It's
have
a-
up to
it's a
100
USB
players.
block.
Ooh, nice.
I need USB-C, UBCs.
Do you want to play smart devices?
Whatever we want to call it. It was gonna come out one way or another.
Yeah, I got 2 thingies. I got that one. 2 bubbles.
It's always good.
She all wanted to run it back or play something else.
Oh, we can run that back.
She said she liked that game.
That game I enjoy. And everybody can play, not just.
So we'll do a quick intermission here.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
And we are back.
In my account or
You're
yours?
in mine. I signed in.
Oh, we got skin again?
Because I don't have it.
Yeah, because you backed all the way out.
Oh, true.
Surprise you.
But now don't get the phone.
If you've accessed the room already,
You could have
enter a
still
name
surprised
and
me.
a
I
code
wouldn't have
number
known.
to
Hey,
join.
can I get your credentials to do this thing that I know that I said we were going to do?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it wasn't a surprise when we were going to the movies. But where are we sitting? Oh, wait.
F1, 2, and 3.
F1, 2, and 3? Okay. I love my first seat. Take a picture. Okay, now you're acting up. Nobby?
It wouldn't let me change the picture.
Oh, I meant to bring her for you.
Oh, there we go.
If you've accessed the room already, how about lending a hand to anyone who might be having trouble?
Yeah.
Start the game once everyone has joined the room.
You want any nuts or cranberry?
No, thank you.
Who's Nobby? With no picture.
Nobby's my cat.
Oh.
What's him?
Well, I was thinking you were saying like Nami the whole time, like N-A-M-I, and I was just like, oh, like a medical journal. Okay.
Nope. It means
Start
butterfly
the
in
game
Korean.
once everyone has joined the
I'm
room.
not ready. I'm not ready.
I have Princess Peach holding a gun.
Is there an icon?
Oh,
No. I put no, right?
Oh, I like that peach one.
Start the game once everyone has joined the room.
Now I want to change mine from the cat to something better.
Oh, I'm gonna tell Nobby on you.
no packet?
Huh?
I don't get it. Is that something in black culture I'm not supposed to
I
understand?
don't know what that means.
You don't know the no packet? Oh,
Start the game once everyone has joined the room.
No packet.
Not the noodles with no packet.
So I'm Bryce.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's on me.
Oh, because Bryce hasn't entered either.
Yeah, there we go.
He found us some alcohol.
Huh. No.
Start the game once everyone has joined the room.
I'm
Pick a
not.
player to be in charge of each Joy-Con. Then have one of them press the highlighted button to continue.
Just me.
If you haven't joined yet, you'll still be able to later on.
Shut up, lady. Don't talk to my
To
wife
bring
like
up the
that.
QR
Shut up
code,
talking.
just press plus or
I'll,
minus on
when
the
I
Joy-Con
press
to
it,
display the in-game menu.
Yep, see, it's too
You
late.
can also check it on the smart device of someone who's already joined.
Praise.
Turn off automatic sleep. Make sure the volume is on.
Start the game once everyone is.
Is my power bank dead?
I don't know. It's
Oh
not
no,
blue anymore.
it is because it's not blue anymore. No.
1, 2,
Switch.
switch.
One, switch.
Why does it look like a, that was like a,
packet was the last one. No
that's like some
packet.
anime intro. That was for real like an anime intro.
I'm your host, Horace. First
Yes,
things
there
first, use the Joy-Con to choose the party you want to play.
I'm gonna pull it.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep all of that.
We can just disable the extra
No,
points.
no,
No, because we down a person.
You gotta keep it fair. You gotta keep it fair.
That's not fair.
All right, everyone. Time to get into teams. Do you want to pick teams
Y'all just
yourself,
winning.
or
'Cause,
would you rather
yeah.
leave it
We
up to
didn't
us?
win last
I'm
time.
just gonna randomize it this time.
Don't randomize.
Let's get.
Put me with my wifey. My wifey.
They did not.
The
Aww.
right team goes to the right side of the
I
screen.
don't like it.
Y'all suck.
And the left team goes to the left side of the screen.
That's Bryce. Blame Bryce for that.
What's me? This all-knowing Nintendo. Randomizer.
You better win.
That's y'all three.
And his phone be over there timing out.
I changed it to a time out.
All right. Let's try to set up.
Now I'm gonna win. Don't like losing.
Yeah.
The rules are the same as before.
Okay.
You'll get a point each time you win a game. The first team to score 3 points wins. Now let the games begin.
So basically, I got kicked off my own team because the rest of my team is still together.
And I got moved onto your team.
You want her to switch?
Huh?
Ooh, color shoot. So fun.
You will not use my
Are
team.
you ready to
for this,
play?
okay?
Everybody?
Did you say you would not use my team for good? Just
Because she's the Disney villain, so
Color shoot.
Villain too.
I've got my voice and my legs.
Welcome to the magazine, darlings. Today we'll be venturing out in search of the latest trending colors. Now, who are my photographers for this
I'm gonna leave it
job?
back on mute. That is too loud.
Yeah, I can't deal with those.
Before you start snapping, let's run a camera check. Make sure to enable your smart device camera.
It's like you're asking for a lot.
Yes.
Access my camera.
All
Like,
set,
what more do you
darlings.
want?
Let's do a
My
little
DNA?
practice. This is the trending color. See if you can find the color from where you're standing, then snap a photo of it.
Oh. But I can't.
Get the color in the circle, then
Oh, that's not even the right color. I should have had this over here. That's a better color. This darker
you'll
blue.
use your smart device to play.
She's just smart.
Yeah, make sure.
How did you get 80? I did the same thing. I got 63.
Lighting.
Now let's start the shoot.
I don't know
First,
what I
let's
got.
snap.
I'm
Let's go. First of all, let's check the trending color. Snap your shot in 20 seconds or less. Ready, snap.
Don't really have stuff.
Thank you. He helped out.
There you go.
3, that's all for now, darlings.
That's an open eye.
Which snapshot is the cream of the crop?
Mine, of course.
What?
What? Who got first? Yeah.
I thought mine was. I had him, this face.
It's all about the lighting,
Oh,
dude.
It really is
Yeah.
about the lighting.
Yeah, it is about that. I get that.
I'm expecting big things.
Green.
Third green.
Here's the scoop on our second color. The time limit is the same as before. Ready,
Where's her fur?
Oh, I got it.
Sometimes you gotta change the lighting.
3, 2, 1. Stop snapping, darlings.
Stop snapping.
You're getting good at this.
Are we?
Who's our star this time?
It ain't me. I guarantee you that.
See.
I got letters.
Damn it, Nobby. How did you get that?
Oh,
Yes!
wow.
Yes! No packet, yes! Yes! It's the lighting! It's the lighting!
But it's not even the dark green.
That's the lighting.
So basically, we're just taking pictures of the color.
Last one. This is your time to shine.
Okay.
All right.
Whatever
Ceramic.
you take a picture, I'll take a picture of them too.
Next final
We'll
color.
take this one.
Ready, snap.
There you go.
Colors are done. Let's have a look.
Everybody's having luck on that table except for me.
Is this the closest thing to
Just great. Just like, yep, this one right here. Yep, this right here.
Yay, no. She took a picture of the fish tank. Wow, I did the same.
Wow!
I beat
Also depends on what part you put in the little circle. On
Just, yeah, whatever.
That helped. Alpha helped y'all out.
Good
No,
work.
I
Deserves
don't.
recognition. Well done.
No, we still beat you with your score. Alpha chimed in.
We went without
a 3 feet. It would have been.
Yeah, because I was like, whatever you take. And then you put it down. I was like, nah, I'm still going to take it because I still be wrong.
The results of the first game are in.
Oh, wood. Oh, yeah. Good job, team. I lost. Great job, team.
Yes, I had to fight.
From now
No
on,
squats.
we'll have the losing team stop the roulette.
You know what? Let's do squats.
Count and ready to go.
Nice.
Press the button on your smart device when you want it to stop.
Of course I'm joking.
Anyone on your team can press the button. The next game will be
And then it's going to be squats. Everybody get to squatting.
Oh,
No, who picked that?
I missed it.
You missed it? Did you miss it?
Everybody, 1, 2, switch.
1, 2, no.
I'm just going to squat my phone. How about that?
Wait, how? What is that? But that's still arm work.
Yeah.
You'll need to enable your smart device's sensor to play this game.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I think Card probably should win this one.
It's leg day. I hope you're ready to feel the burn.
I'm not ready.
If you hear the word squat, do a squat. Don't follow any other cues.
Okay. Everybody getting your
Oh, I want some more chicken wings. And y'all got me up here squatting.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'd be like, don't join.
You're gonna need some food.
Not food. All right. No pay.
Use your smart device to join. On your feet. The workout's about to begin.
I don't like
You
the
can also
squat
play
thing
sitting
looking
down.
for.
Just try to sit up as straight as you can.
Nice. I'm still play sitting down. Bryson. Okay.
I'll do
Make
that.
sure to hold your arms out straight ahead. Pay attention to your surroundings so you don't hit anything. Hold your smart device in both hands, then squat.
If you're playing sitting down, steadily raise and lower your arms.
You
That's all y'all
squatted.
get from me.
Do a few reps.
So that's all y'all get from me. Just a slight knee down.
It says you squatted when you squatted.
Hold your smart
That's still
device
arm
in
work.
both
It is
hands,
still arm
then
work.
squat.
I can't do no arm
If
work.
you're playing sitting down, steadily.
You're ready for the real
Literally,
deal.
is that your squat?
Yes, that was good. When I dip, you dip, we dip. That's it.
I'm trying. I'm back here just in case I try to move something.
Squash.
Squat,
Squash.
squash,
Squash.
squat,
Oh,
Squat.
I didn't
They're
know
tricking you. They're saying squash and squat.
Oh,
squat,
Squat.
squat,
Squat.
squat,
Squash.
squat.
they're saying squawk and squash.
Yeah.
Squat.
At this point, we all squatting, okay?
Take a
Yeah,
break.
I have no idea.
While you rest, let's take a look
You're
at
only
the
supposed to do it when they say squat.
Yeah,
We not look. They have said squash, squawk, squawk. They've said
That's why I lost.
Keep working
Yeah,
on
I
your
just
game.
kept doing that.
Dude,
Even higher.
oh,
Get ready to raise the bar in the second half.
good job, Vicky.
Face each other again. Stretch out your arms and start.
Squat,
Squat.
squat,
Squat.
squat,
Squat.
squat,
Swat.
Squash.
Squash.
Squat.
Swat.
Squat.
Swat.
Squat.
Swat.
Squash.
Swat.
Squat.
Swat.
Squash.
Swat.
Squat.
Squash.
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 Damn it.
Swat. Swat.
That hurts, man.
Workout.
Oh my gosh.
Ain't nobody asked y'all for all this.
Is the left team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Show us what you squat.
By
They're gonna
one.
get the bonus. They're gonna get the bonus.
They're gonna get the bonus.
Doom.
Damn it, Alpha.
Cause oh look, I'm second.
Oh, he
One.
still took it by one.
Yeah.
It's a tie.
I just kept squatting and not stopped.
Yeah.
I just have been up there. They trying to kill somebody? They ain't put no warnings on this game.
They did not.
Like, check with your doctor.
I'm just not trying to just
Squats too.
squats to the sequel. What about Bingo 2?
Right.
That's gonna help us win. She done lost her water bottle. Come on, quick.
Down it.
Bingo. Yeah.
Yeah! Everybody. 1, 2, switch.
Switch.
Bingo.
My phone is my watch over here like, hey.
Watch is like, you working out today.
It's like, oh, we doing that?
Let the bingo begin.
Bingo,
Use your smart device to join.
We'll find some multiplayer games for us to play.
Where? At home?
First,
For the
tap the
Switch.
center of the card to set the numbers.
They're coming out with another Switch Sports. Probably in
Oh, no,
this-
they got a bunch of multiplayer games that have come out.
Well, I know. I'm just saying. For anybody interested in the summertime, they're coming out with another one.
I don't see no
area
packet
in the
and
center.
Doom up there.
In this game, you use the Joy-Con to stop the roulette. These are the people who will
I
stop
got
the
y'all
roulette this time
Joy-Cons?
around.
Pop and
I'm
drama.
passing it. Somebody else is going to work out this stuff.
Well, drama is on this side, and then pop is the other one.
Okay.
First up is the left team.
Well,
Okay, let's play. Press a button to stop the roulette. The first number is...
Ooh. Wrong button.
Hey.
Just
Fix it, Kari.
hit the A button to go back.
Press the button, Kari.
Don't be... 13! If the number that came up is on your card, tap on it. Next up is the right team. Press a button to stop the roulette. If you're not stopping the roulette, tap 6.
Girl, you talk too much. This one.
Here's a quick explanation of the
Is this
rules.
for Bernard?
Yes.
Yeah.
The first team to get the required number of bingos is the winner.
I was like, wait a
The
minute.
number depends on how many people are playing. Here's how many bingos you'll need this time.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah.
She's so
I
talented.
was like,
Press a button to stop the roulette. The next number is... 18.
She says she wants a Josh Johnson ticket in exchange.
Next up is the
Should've asked
right
for two.
team. Press a
Oh, I have
button
the
to
other
stop the
one. Oh,
roulette.
okay.
37.
Uno.
Uno. Bingo?
No, he's lying. None of them say.
Oh! Wait a minute.
It's time for a roulette jackpot.
It's like,
During a jackpot, the roulette will land on 3.
Because I always thought you could lie and just pick ones, but it knows like what's on your card.
15. Only one number away from a
oh, it
bingo.
sure is.
Alright.
Next up is the right team.
These are all over the
Press a
place for
button
me.
to stop the roulette. 40.
Nope.
Next up is the left team. Press a button to stop the roulette. The next number is 22. Next up is the right team. Press a button to stop the roulette. The next number is 21. Next up is the left team. Press a button to stop the roulette. The next number is 23. Run away again. Next up is the right team. Roulette check. 36, 38, 39. One away. More and more people are only one away from a bingo. If both teams get a bingo at the same time, the one who marks their card first wins. Next up is the left team. Press a button to stop the roulette. 9.
I have the worst card in bingo history.
Next up is the right team. Press a button
Mine's
to stop
bad
the
too.
roulette. The next 4.
I'm gonna be surprised if it's the same one I have.
Someone on the right team could get a bingo in 2 different ways. Next up is the left team. Press a button to 24. One away again. Next up is the right team. Press a button to stop the roulette. The next number is 33.
Bingo, bitches!
Let's move on. Next up is the left team. Roulette jackpot. 10, 11, 16.
Bingo, bitches!
Let's move on. Next up is the right team. Press
What
a
y'all
button
need
to
over there?
stop
What
the
y'all
roulette.
need?
Oh, we got a prize on here.
Is 35.
I can't even play anymore. I wanted to
Someone on
I
the
could have
right
got bingo.
team
I could have got a bingo another way.
I know.
Next up is the left team. Press a button to stop the roulette. 20. Next up is the right team. Press a button.
Come on,
to
team. Y'all got this.
I'm trying.
Next up is the left team.
Somewhere
Press a button. 3. Next up is the right team. Roulette jackpot.
All right, come on, guys. Wait, am I on the left or right team? I'm on the left. Never mind.
47, 48, 49.
I think that was my other number. 49 was my other number.
Yes! Come on.
Let's move on.
Wait, who just got
You're on the right team. We're on.
Bingo.
There you go.
Press a button
I thought
to
that said
stop the
80s
roulette.
baby came out.
The next number
No.
is
No, my card's full.
43.
I ain't even close.
I think Jamie got bingo. Somebody got bingo.
Next
You.
up is the
Oh.
right team. Press a button to stop the roulette. 44. If the number
Yes! Bingo, bitches!
I was so not close.
Yeah, I wasn't even like, I had the shittiest card. Like, I
had bingo 2 ways. I was just waiting.
in every direction, I had to get 2. In every direction.
Would you have a giant plus sign or something?
It was just like, I had a big wave here and a big wave here. And then like a big block here. So it was like,
Here comes the next game.
Who's picking this side?
not UFO.
Roulette. Round and round it goes. Press the button on your smart
Quiz
device
shook.
and want it to
Quiz
stop.
shook.
Next game will be
Quiz or color. Quiz or color.
Who's picking? Oh, y'all. Oh.
Yay!
There we go.
Not me.
Yeah.
Are you ready to play? Everybody.
1, 2, switch. See, Bryce is gonna go home and it's gonna be in his dreams. It's like everybody, 1, 2, switch.
Stupid horseman to get my nightmares.
So Jack Horseman's gonna like
That horse.
You better keep a clear head. It's time to put your general knowledge to the test.
I still haven't seen that movie.
If you're playing, use your smart device to join.
It's a good one.
To start with, try pressing the buttons for true and false answers. In this game, you have to answer true or false for every question as quick as you can. There's a score bonus if you answer within 2 seconds. Okay, everyone, give it all the gusto you can muster. Fingers at the ready for the first question. In rock, paper, scissors, scissors lose to rock.
Oh, I guess I should talk about slime now. That took maybe 2 seconds.
See, did it help Ann out this time? Nope.
Nope. I said English.
Oh!
Dang!
You know.
I hit the wrong one. Yep, I meant to. The other
Damn
one.
it!
119 to 18 points. Wow. Even with the alpha bonus.
Question 2. 1 hour before 3 a.m. is 4 a.m.
Let's see if she gets 186 points this time.
Huh?
So let's see if you get 186 points this time.
No, because the 186 was from double points.
Yeah, that's right.
Question 3.
Come on, Nobby, let's go.
The final question. This question is worth double the points, so it could still be anyone's game, folks. For sleeping, you'd use a beard.
Oh, wow.
For sleeping.
I mean, it depends if you're LGBTQ stuff.
I got you.
Oh shit.
I got it. I just started pushing these things.
What?
I was trying to get the. Yeah.
He said he would use a beard.
Yeah.
Oh lord.
Like, comment, subscribe, share.
I thought you said beard.
Hand to our
I wasn't looking. I was.
Big.
Oh, we've got time for today. See you next time.
Yeah, we move on.
Now we're with time.
See you next time.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
Here are the results.
That was me slow clapping for you.
Point. Smell victory.
I like the ball.
So it's tied up then.
Yeah. The scores
Dang, I was hoping that was the last one.
The loser of the last game will decide.
Y'all weren't. Oh yeah.
Alright,
Tied up. We're still
Feeling
okay.
lucky? Press the button on your smart device to stop the roulette. The next game will be.
Wait. Oh hell, not squats too. 8.
I mean, all of them are terrible.
Oh shit. Nobody was present.
This is the Bryce game right here, Bryce.
Are you ready to play?
No.
You won it last time for us.
1, 2.
Switch!
1, 2, no.
UFOs.
Didn't somebody say they thought they were demons?
What?
Like JD Vance or somebody like that said like UFOs were demons.
Probably so. It was probably Trump or both.
This is it. First contact.
This game makes me hungry.
Ready, everyone.
Burning these carbs.
Burning the calories off.
Use your smart device to join.
I wonder if I said no to joining, it would give like, extra credit for.
No, I think it would just take you long.
Signal.
And make it easier.
But then it looked like the game. Oh, you're right. Dang.
Follow my movements.
I should have dropped out. Is Amy almost like she's fanning herself?
What? It's not registering.
Your smart device.
Oh, but it's with the
Channel positive energy.
cancel Planet Fitness with this.
The console has been disconnected from the server.
Oh,
Mine has too. What happened?
we all, I guess, we disconnected.
I think the switch itself went offline for some reason.
Well,
So
maybe
somebody
I'll
hit the
list-
button. Reconnect.
UFO.
Oh no! We gotta do it all over again!
You thought we was just gonna do. Oh, we gotta reload to reconnect.
Just refresh the page. We gotta do the practice thing all over again.
Oh,
This is it. First contact. Get ready, everyone. If you're playing, use your smart device to join. Signal in time with the rhythm. Follow my movement.
Pizza. Garlic knots. Oh, now we're going side to side. My bad.
Hold your
We
smart
still-
We're waiting for Vicky.
Oh, yeah, we're still going to open up. Okay.
Channel positive energy.
Yeah, there we go.
This one?
Everybody good?
Smart device.
There's one more on your team that you're waiting for. It's Anne.
And
Huh?
yours isn't showing up.
There it is.
Sometimes you gotta like take your thumbs off, put them back on. For some reason.
Let's go.
We already got the ship there. At least I think that's us on the left. Come on, get out of there, you little bitches. Hurry up before their people come. Yeah, that's right. Run, you little freaks.
Oh no!
No, get back here.
Come on, get off the ship! Try. I mean, you,
Huh? No. This is Melissa.
oh, they went back up. No. Get back out here.
Come on, this should be over with. There we go.
What?
Oh,
Jacked established.
that should be it now.
That is it.
I think you're
That was the fastest we summoned them things. That ship hurried up and got out there.
No.
Bryce still did good. No packet for the win.
Boobs just weren't responding. Phone just-
Y'all should get an alpha bonus, though.
The boobs are not responding.
That's it, folks. The final game is over. Here are the results. The left team wins.
It's all because they're a good team.
The winner's been decided.
Winner, you did nothing.
It's time
I wasn't playing.
for your
I think her cat was playing.
player. Use your smart device to vote for the person you think
You got beat by a cat.
You're winning.
voting
The cat's out here winning.
starts now.
Got beat by a cat.
I vote. I worked the hardest. Oh, I don't even get to vote. Oh,
Remember, the person who worked hardest isn't necessarily the person who did the best. You could also decide to vote for someone else, like the person who looked like they were having the most fun. It's almost time to close the voting.
on fire tomorrow.
And now for the results. The most valuable player is
Everybody vote for themselves.
this person.
Really?
Yep.
Let's give a big hand to both
I also voted for you. I don't know why it's not showing that I did.
I voted for him too. It doesn't show me up there. No, I don't think it shows. It shows the other people who were voted for, not who voted for them.
So you, Kari, and Winter voted. Well, who did no Captain vote for?
I voted for Kyle.
Oh.
Yeah, so he voted for Kari. Somebody voted for Vicky. Somebody voted for you. Somebody voted for Bryce.
I voted for myself. I ain't gonna lie. I voted for myself. I ain't mad at it.
Hey, you gotta toot your own horn sometimes.
So everybody got a vote except for Leonard.
Alpha didn't get one either, so I'm good.
Dang.
Was that fun or what?
Me either. Oh. So Alpha ain't up there. I ain't up there either.
You're still up for more. Glad to hear it. You know the drill. Just use the Joy-Con to choose
Is
what
there
you
any
want
way
to
to
play.
take off the physical games?
I'll be up to Bryce or whoever was running it.
I gotta go. I gotta be at
Oh,
work
that's
in the
right.
morning.
You're gonna be at work.
Yeah, about to hit the old dusty trail myself.
And we can just call it. It was fun. Y'all come back. We'll play some more of it. Or I'll bring the cartridge to y'all spot.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
I said I can bring the cartridge to y'all spot. This is a physical game.
Oh, okay. You can do that.
Yep.
Have a little movie night pop.
Because y'all have more space, so you can do the physical game. You can run and do the switch. The music.
Couches up. Everybody be up there.
Nah, I'm gonna have to still have the couch. I'm still have to have the couch. I'm still have to be
You all
sitting.
go sit on couch, man.
I'm gonna have to run and then be like, look, that's it. That's all you get, lady. I'm sitting right here.
Little karaoke. You know? Everybody's gonna sing a song now.
All right, so no Mario this week, you guys, but
You don't need a song.
you have plenty of Mario
For
stuff.
karaoke. For karaoke. Yeah.
Mario movie. You had all that.
We gotta get Vic. We finally got Vicky on one song. We got Vic.
Everybody here has not seen the Mario movie, so
Because we know
we'll talk about.
is gonna sing every song.
We'll talk about Mario and other videos. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one of the Yellow Hat Guy. For myself, for 80s Baby Gamer, for Ann, for Kari, for Bernard, and for Vicky.